Okay, this is Bipolar Video 2 by Kevin and MTB. This is actually more along the lines of where is the money going, but it's part of our bipolar segment for this month. The NAMI had some disturbing news recently. States are cutting mental health care costs in devastating proportions. This is the most drastic effect on major depression, schizophrenics, and people with bipolar disorders. $1.8 billion was recently cut from the state budget and did not help with the mental health crisis going on in America. The NAMI says that 1 in 17 Americans suffer from the latter three mental illnesses. 1 in 10 children live with a serious disorder. ADHD is the most prevalent childhood illness that is diagnosed, but a majority of cases slip through the cracks. Budgets continue to get slashed. And we'll go over about ADHD in another video, but ADHD was formerly known as ADD, but the current and correct pronunciation of it is ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. That is the current one. So when you hear ADD, that people get those two confused, but it's actually ADHD now. What needs to be said up front is that cutting mental health care costs does not save money in the long run. These people simply migrate into systems that are less adequate to handle the serious problems. They fill hospital rooms, homeless shelters, jails, and in the long run, the system is causing costs rather than alleviating them. And many people don't understand this because mental health care costs are devastatingly high. And cutting costs does not help. It actually causes problems. It looks good on the paper because they're cutting less money, but in the long run, it's costing the nation more money, and people are not getting help. But, a lot of people just don't care, and that's unfortunate. California is the leading example on our crisis as it cuts $587.4 million from the mental health care budget. Everything, including children's mental health, it is being cut. That leads us to wonder who is picking up the bill. And once again, what needs to be said up front is that cutting mental health care costs does not save money in the long run. These people simply migrate into other systems that are less adequate to handle the serious problems. They fill hospital rooms, homeless shelters, jails, and in the long run, the system is causing costs rather than alleviating them. I thought that needed to be emphasized. It's just unbelievable. All these people are just going into other forms of agony. They're not getting help. They're just flowing in other proportions of the system. So it's not a beneficial thing. In recent days, everything is getting worse and quickly. We have cut the mental health care budget by $4 billion, a figure not seen since the 1970s. And think about how much money has changed since then. So since the 1970s, that's not been seen. The Substance Abuse and Mental Health Care Service Administrations claimed it alone would be cutting $168 million and have 83.1 reduction in grants for treatment programs that focus on substance abuse. Substance abuse is getting just drastically worse, and people are wanting help for it, but they can't get help. I know a guy who talked to me who said that he wanted help with substance abuse, but he didn't have insurance, and they could not find a place for him. Nobody would take him, and he ended up having to work in a facility just to get the help he needed. And it was a crappy facility at that. I hate to say it, but it was. But California gets her award for cutting $587.4 million from its budget. Go California. The facilities that are open are experiencing a surge of over 50% in cases. 1/3 of children with serious mental illnesses will slip through the cracks, and with all the havoc going on in America as a mentally ill person crashes his car into the gates of the White House and other such tragedies should leave America wondering, where are we headed? I don't know if you heard about this, but a mentally ill person crashed its car into the gates of the White House. The shootings at Columbine. There are more recent disturbing news of mentally ill people doing things, and we seem to be looking the other way. I get that impression. We may not be looking the other way, but we're not doing what we should be doing. Equally troubling, these sorts of failures can bring about the worst outcomes everyone fears: suicides, jails, or encounters with the police where the untreated mentally ill end up as victims of violence, says one source. The national average of persons with mental illness has risen a staggering from 3% to 17% in the last few years. That means that 17% of people in jails are mentally ill. That is just that is just insane. And don't they make those jails look really pretty? I mean, God, they look so nice, so comfortable. They obviously spend a lot of money making those bars. Those look like, what are they made out of, diamonds? Yeah, right, okay. Anyway, that's the video for today. Thank you very much. Good day, good night, good mental health. Bye. MTB signing off.